WordRake just released version 5.0 in September 2024. It's the newest edition of the professional editing software. In this version, WordRake introduces a refreshed interface, adds 2 new features, introduces color customizations, adds new editing algorithms, and refines and enhances existing ones. WordRake software edits for brevity and simplicity in Microsoft Word and Outlook. WordRake goes beyond grammar and spell check. It identifies unnecessary words and simplifies complex language, while respecting legally operative phrases and key legal content. At the click of a button, it gives editing suggestions in the familiar track changes style, like a professional editor, but faster. With version 5.0, WordRake delivers the features most often requested by clients. Now users can personalize how they experience WordRake on their local machine. In WordRake 5.0, users get 2 new personalization options. They can change which editing suggestions they receive by telling WordRake to never suggest certain ones again. And they can change the color of their editing suggestions. Remaining true to its security promise, WordRake does not track sentence or document information when a user blocks an editing suggestion. The only information stored relates to the editing algorithm, and that information is stored locally as a setting. This works just like any changes you make to other settings in Microsoft Word. These customizations apply only to the individual user. They do not apply to the entire organization for standard or enterprise users. Since writing is highly personal, users should be able to personalize their editing experience by hiding suggestions that don't fit their writing style. With WordRake 5.0, this is possible. Now WordRake is flexible enough for any writing workflow and any writer style. In addition to the vibrant new interface, WordRake 5.0 introduces 2 new editing options: Reject for Document and Never Suggest, bringing the total to 4. Users should view these new options as an escalation of how they feel about a suggested edit. At the lowest level, WordRake offers Reject and Go to Next or Reject. Use these options if a suggestion doesn't work in a sentence, but you may like it in another sentence. These options have been part of WordRake since its initial release in 2012. At the next level, WordRake offers Reject for Document. This option is new. Use Reject for Document if a suggestion appears numerous times, but it doesn't work for the document you're writing, but you may like it in another document. This saves time because you will not have to click Reject repeatedly. However, when you start a new document or rake a second time, those suggestions will appear again. This option is newly available starting with WordRake 5.0. At the midpoint, WordRake offers Never Suggest. This option is also new, and it's the most frequently requested feature from lawyers who work from templated documents and have less leeway for free writing. Use Never Suggest if a suggestion doesn't match your writing style, but it is otherwise correct. When you click Never Suggest, 3 things happen. You will reject the active suggestion. You will clear all instances of the exact same editing suggestion throughout the document. And you will block this suggestion, so you will never get it again from this editing algorithm. Don't worry, WordRake will ask for confirmation before permanently blocking this suggestion. If you change your mind, you can reset your Never Suggest file. Just go to the Help menu, then choose Options. Then click Confirm in the dialog box that asks if you'd like to completely reset your Never Suggest file. Use the Never Suggest option for stylistic choices, not if WordRake has introduced an error. The Never Suggest option is newly available starting with WordRake 5.0. At the final level of escalation of rejection options, we have Report Bad Edit. Use this option if a suggestion does not make sense, introduces an error, or does not appropriately recognize a common legal term of art. This feature was added in WordRake 3.95. By selecting Report Bad Edit, you launch an online form where you can give feedback on editing suggestions and explain why they're wrong. Clicking the button does not automatically transmit any document information, but it helps if you share a screenshot of the sentence, even if you anonymize it first. These new rejection options make WordRake more appealing to more lawyers and other professional writers. Now you can focus on getting the most relevant editing suggestions that work for your document and your style. Additionally, users may personalize the colors in which their editing suggestions appear. We started getting this request when we introduced a second editing mode in 2022. With 2 editing modes, brevity mode and simplicity mode, users wanted a visual cue for which suggestions came from which mode. Setting those new colors is now possible. Users may also set different colors for insertions and deletions if they'd like to do so. Many U.S. government employees, consumer advocates, and securities lawyers must follow plain language laws in their writing. so it helps to know whether a suggestion is offered for its readability and accessibility, or if it was offered to save space and increase punchiness. Finally, with every new release, WordRake includes new editing algorithms, as well as extensive upgrades and refinements to existing editing algorithms. With this new batch, WordRake now offers over 50,000 editing algorithms, the most of any legal-specific editing software available. Existing users may check for updates from within the app. This version will become available for WordRake Enterprise customers in October. Anyone interested in trying WordRake may download a 7-day free trial at wordrake.com/trial, even if you've tried an earlier version of WordRake. Thanks for joining us to learn about what's new in WordRake 5.0. If you're new to WordRake, here's what you should know. WordRake runs in Microsoft Word and Outlook and uses complex algorithms to find and improve weak lead-ins, confusing language, and high-level grammar and usage slips. WordRake is inexpensive, and the return on investment is immediate. A WordRake license ranges from $149 to $229 per user per year. A free 7-day trial is available at wordrake.com. If you'd like to discuss WordRake for Enterprise, contact us at sales@wordrake.com. That's sales@wordrake.com.